So while we are recording, and later on, if you want notes or you want information, let's see. I sent you all emails yesterday, but still, I'm putting my email address in the chat box for those who don't have it. And I would like to go around the horn. And so I guess I'll call out names because I know we all show up on different screens here, but I'd like to know where you're at. And I'd like to know if you're a broker, if you have access to your broker website, or you're just here for your agent website. So on my screen, Marcia's first. So Marcia, where are you at? And answer the questions.
Well, I'm in the process of helping my broker get through a lot of this, and she's kind of pulled me off the streets a little bit to give her a hand. Well, if you go down this rabbit hole and it seems like you can't get it all together. So I'm here to help her out.
I understand. And most of what we're going to talk about today will be applicable to either broker or agent side. So for those of you that are techie and can help agents with their sites, this will work for them as well. Next to my screen is Ben Fox. Hey, Ben, we are not related.
No, we like to think as cousins and brothers and all that good stuff, but we're not related this time. So I'm in Bentonville, Arkansas.
Chad Brown, or Provision Roofing guy.
Oh, I heard something else. Sorry.
Okay.
Bentonville, Arkansas. We've made the switch over. I've got a marketing person that physically does that, but I've got access to the controls and tools. Yes.
Did you get the flat tire?
Okay, James, you're next on my screen.
Hey everybody, I'm Jim Olivieri. I'm a broker owner of Better Homes and Gardens Maturo, co-owner, and I'm in South Jersey and Pennsylvania, more importantly, Philadelphia area. And I'm here because, we got a lot of agents to train up on the Moxi website, so I do have access to the brokerage website.
Excellent. Mr. Millette, how are you, sir?
Good. How are you today, sir?
Another day, another 50 cents.
Yeah. So Tom Millette, broker owner of BHGRE Heritage in Maggie Valley, North Carolina. And I'm here for my brokerage site. And I think I have a couple agents that may be on for their agent site. So thanks for doing this, Greg.
Absolutely. Karen, you're next.
Hi, everybody. I'm Karen Garrett from the Shanahan Group up in Massachusetts. We have a few agents who have launched their agent sites. We haven't really delved too deep into the brokerage site, which is why I'm on here. We have our own standalone independent site, which we rely on pretty heavily. So this is, even the Zap site has been like an add-on, but curious.
Okay. Mr. Jackson.
Ron Jackson, CEO and broker in charge of Elliott Coastal Living in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina area. Our agents have been on the Moxi sites for about a year now. Our brokerage has always been a standalone, but we're starting to look into transitioning to the brokerage Moxi.
Excellent. And Abe Wostal, do I know you?
Greg Fox is my neighbor. Abby Wastel, Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate, Wastel Realty, Topeka, Kansas, broker owner. And I'm supposed to be an early adopter, but I've fallen way behind and need help. So thanks, Greg, for doing this. You're awesome.
Oh, you're quite welcome. Frank, how are you, sir?
Hey, I'm doing good. Frank Reale, Safari Realty in Staten Island. We've had our site up for a while. I just think I'm just looking to see how I can make it better and get a better understanding of some of the stuff that I did. I mean, you follow through some of the steps and then you're totally lost. So I figure an idea or two can't hurt.
Oh, well, I'm going to hurt you. I'm going to hurt you then. I'm sorry.
It can hurt me because the site runs just as basic and poor as it could possibly be. So
Okay, I'm afraid I don't know GMCCO's name. How are you?
Hi, my name's Gay. I'm the office manager of Better Homes and Gardens First Choice up in Bemidji, Minnesota, about an hour south of Canada. And I maintain the broker site and I help my agents.
Okay, thank you. Dustin?
Hey, I'm Dustin. I'm in West Monroe, Louisiana. I'm the operations manager for BHGRE Veranda Realty. And I pretty much run the brokerage website with along with my own personal website, or my personal agent website. So anytime Carrie Ann says, "Hey, you should join this call," jump right on it.
Carrie Ann's kind. Next up would be Leah Wright. Hello, Leah.
Hi, everyone. Sorry to be a bit late.
And where are you and what's your role, I guess?
Yep. So I am fairly new to the brand. I am a director of brand engagement. So Greg, thanks for hosting this. Wanted to listen in and take notes on what's needed to best service and get all the feedback. And I'll pop in my email in the chat too.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. McDonough, the drummer of the BHG band. How are you, sir?
I am doing great. It is good to see you, Greg. So yeah, we're in Dallas Fort Worth. We're Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate Winans. And as far as the website's concerned, we've always had our standalone website, but we've always funneled search traffic through to what used to be Zap, right? So we have our standalone website, but as soon as you started typing in our search fields, it would autocomplete and you would land on Zap. That has proven to be a little bit more difficult in the current new setup. And so we're trying to figure out the best path forward for that. But I'm very curious about editing the content of those pages, both from the broker standpoint, but also I would love to have some more tips and ideas and tools for the agents as well, as I know they want to get a little bit deeper into their customization.
Excellent. Thank you. My screen has shifted some. I think I've already talked to Dustin, correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay, then Karen Garrett is up.
I think Karen spoke.
Yeah, Karen went.
Did.
Oh, see, I'm getting all confused. Quit shifting my screen. Then Chrissy.
I'm Chrissy Shasha. I'm part of Elliott Coastal Living in the Myrtle Beach area, and I'm here to see what's going on with our website.
Excellent. Leah McDonough.
Hi, I'm Leah McDonough. Basically what Mark said. We're in Dallas Fort Worth. So we're just here. We were like, we're getting on that call with Greg. We're going to pick your brain. So thanks for doing this.
I love doing this, so thank you. Mike Zoiner, didn't you start this whole chat, Mike?
Yeah, sorry. Mike Zerner, broker owner, Power Realty in Kenosha, Wisconsin, and looking for some serious help.
Serious help costs money, Mike. Haven't you heard that before?
I'll send you a check.
And Ashley Lewis, have I talked to you yet?
No, I'm the marketing person for Journey. We're out of Bentonville and Fayetteville. It's in Northwest Arkansas. And I'm just here to learn as much as possible about our website.
Okay. Ashley Lewis.
That was me.
Hello? Did we lose Ashley?
No, that was Ashley that just spoke.
I just spoke.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. The screen. Is there anybody I missed? Let's do that now. Bob Shea.
Rick Herdrick.
Beg pardon, Rick?
Rick Herdrick, Maggie Valley, and I'm just an agent, and I wanted to learn.
Just an agent. You're what makes the wheels turn, man. Bob?
Checks in the mail.
Bob?
Yeah, I'm in Maggie Valley too. I'm interested in learning more about their websites.
Okay. So as you can tell already, I'm bad with names. And I'm going to share my screen. Okay, share screen. And we're going to go with this screen right here. Can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
Does it look like welcome to brokerage website admin tool across the top?
Yes.
Agents will not see that. Agents will only see their agent site, which we get to choose as brokers by clicking on my sites and choosing which one. But I'm going to stay on dashboard for a while. And I want to qualify everything I'm going to say from here on out. I am not an expert. And somebody will have to speak up if there's questions in the chat. I just played with this enough that I figured out what I wanted to do because I don't like people telling me that's not possible. I like to figure out the impossible. And I will say this as well. This is an extremely powerful WordPress editor. If you get into the right places and you think through the problems enough. The one thing I wish they would do that we do not have the power to do, if anybody's done WordPress before, you can use plugins. This will not allow you to put individual plugins. You're stuck with what's here. And it's not bad. It's just that there are so many solutions that plugins would make our life easier on that we can't use. For example, right at the top, you'll see this little Y for Yoast, and that is a powerful Yoast SEO configurer. But that's their old version. If you try to upgrade to the new version, you can't do it because you can't install the newer, later upgraded Yoast version as a plugin. And I don't say that necessarily as a bad thing. I'm just telling you that. Okay? And by the way, I'm interactive, so somebody has to leave their microphone on and say, yes, Greg.
Yes, Greg.
Thank you. Okay. So I started with the presumption. I wanted to see what the normal functions were, and I wanted to see what I could make it look like. And I went to appearance and went to homepage layout, as most of you have done. And I clicked on it, and I said, those two are not going to work for Greg. Have other people set up a custom page that they started working with?
No.
Yes, I have.
Tom, was that Tom?
Yes, it was.
Okay. So if you've not set up the custom page, when you first looked at this, you may be a little confused. I'm not going to take down everything that's confusing. But for me, I would build the page I want first before I came back here and chose it. For me, I built out, as you can see here, a whole lot of custom pages. Testimonials, selling a home, do you want to rent or buy, and so on and so forth. And I could choose any one of those as my home page. But you got to have a page first. So we're going to discuss what I later identified as the Beaver Builder WordPress editor, because that's what we work with in here. So if you go to site pages, all pages, I like to start there, click on add new, and you can choose what do you want to do. Well, I want to add a brand new custom page. I promise you we're going to go back and do that. Well, let's go ahead and do it now. And I submit it, and it's going to open up an editor that looks just like the regular editors. Really simple and easy, except I don't like this. And there's a tab right here that says Builder. Now, Tom's already been in here. I don't know if anyone else has. But when you click on Builder, it's going to bring this up. and it's going to launch the builder. You'll notice I really can't adjust the top menu. I can adjust what's in the menu, but I'm not doing a lot here. And my footer's already there. I'm only dealing with what this page has. Now, Greg likes simple. So we're going to start with simple. For me, the best way to figure out what's going on in the middle of this page is give me an idea of what I can look at. And if you click on templates right here, does everybody see that?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for the When you click on templates, there's several choices. Moxi Works templates, landing pages, content pages, and brand templates. For me, again, the Moxi Work templates had the most in it. You can choose from any of these, and I'm going to let you look at those on your own, because I think for most of us, if we start with either this blank page or a Moxi template, we're probably going to find what we want to use. When you click on Moxi template, you can scroll through all these, and you'll see a lot of them already have a search button built into them. Some of them have featured properties. Some of them have a carousel. And you can choose the template that makes the most sense for what you're trying to accomplish. When I started, I wanted my search bar at the top because I believe everything below the fold, this right here, exists only for search engine optimization, and most people don't scroll down past that. So I want to know what the top looks like, and I wanted a carousel in it. So you click on various ones and you say, let's try this one, the homepage Beaumont. Well, it's already got a picture in there. It's got a search bar. You can put your featured properties in there and so on. Well, if I looked at it and it said, well, wait a minute, that didn't have the carousel I wanted, well, I'm going to click on the next one, the Valor. I want to replace it. Yep, I'm going to change it. And it brings up the next one I could look at.
We can do those two.
So again,
Those are my favorite sandwiches.
is somebody speaking to me or somebody's microphone's unmuted? So again, I've got things that I like. I'm not sure about this carousel yet. We'll look at it. You'll notice they have something in here that's rolling up how many homes you sold, how many houses you bought, how many customers are happy. And so I'm going, wow, I really kind of like the way this one looks, but I don't like the blue background. I'm going to change all that. What I'm looking for in picking a template is the layout I want to use. I want to find the things that have the most features that I can use. Because when I look at this page, I don't know how many of you have been to Wichita, Kansas, but you don't see the ocean and the mountains in the background. It just don't happen here. So I know
Not
that
your Wichita, not your side of town, right?
No, not my side of town anyway. So, in fact, I think that's Diamond Head, but I'm just guessing. So all of that stuff can be customized. The important thing is, what kind of search engine do you want? What's going to be in the middle? Let's look at Kenwick. Replace existing. Warning. Okay. Well, I can see, wow, I can have different search engine things. I've got different little squares in here that I can put stuff in. Featured properties will pop up here. I need a headline. I need to write. I can do all that. I like this, and that seems to be the layout we're going to work with. So in trying to keep this as simple as possible, I'm not going to go through the carousel right up front, but I'll stay on this call as long as you guys want. I blocked off the rest of the day to answer questions. And if I'm moving too fast or too slow, please tell me. So let's start right here. What if I said I liked everything about this, but I want to know if I can change the option for my search engine? Well, when I hover over it, a blue box pops up. Anytime you have a field here, you'll see a blue box pop up. and you can change things. When I click on the wrench, I get the widget settings. And you'll notice on the left-hand side, I've got now the widget settings for this widget. If I don't like this number 2 layout, I could change it to the number 1 layout. And when I click on that bubble and push save, it changed to the number 1 layout. Everybody got that?
Mm-hmm.
I will tell you that I'm frustrated with this widget, the search widget, in that we only have these 3 choices to choose from. I couldn't find anywhere in here where I could modify the color of the button. You would think if I was on this and I clicked on advanced, I'd find a place to modify the color of the button. But in this widget, you don't. So I'm going to go to layout number 3, and I'm going to save it again. And you'll see now the box pulls up maximum price bedroom bath that they can add to their search. Got it, right? So let's talk about widgets for a minute, and then I'm going to come back and work with this page quite a bit. What if I don't see something here that I really want to put in or I saw on another page? Well, at the top right now, we're on templates, right? Yes, Greg, we're on templates.
Mm-hmm. I see that, yeah.
I'm going to move over to modules. And under modules are standard modules. Well, whenever I see something that says standard or there's a drop down, I go, what else can I do there? So first for me, there's some basic modules, there's some media modules, and those are all nice. And I could do those things, but I want to see what else is in here. Well, they have their advanced modules. And in advanced modules, look at how much more stuff I can put in there.
Mm.
And I literally spent hours clicking on each one and adding them. Or I would Google building beaver and try to see what these modules were. Some of these modules will be in Builder Beaver, some of them won't, because this version of Builder Beaver is specific to MoxiWorks. If you go back to advanced modules and click on widgets, these are all the widgets that we have available to us in this Moxi setup. So for example, if I wanted to put agents and offices on this page, I would pick up my widget, drag it over here to this little empty gray box and add it. And now it's going to say, well, who? Our agents or office agents? Do I want to put languages in there? Do I want to put location? How many rows do I want to put in? Do I want 1 row that scrolls through? Or would I like to have, well, it looks like I can have 2 as the maximum. Well, now I have 2 rows of agents. How many columns do I want to put up? Well, I want 3. I want more agents to show up here. And now, come on. Save. There's 3 rows of agents with their cards where I put that. Are there any questions real quickly about how to add a basic widget? We'll look at some more in a minute, but do you see how to add them and how to adjust them?
Greg, I do have a question. So I was finishing up something when you first started this, and you kind of started a custom page, but can I do this with my existing home page that I already have set and then just modify that, or do I have to start over?
I have found that the custom pages that they have for us, those first 2 choices, we can't change.
For
now,
the home page specifically, you're talking.
Correct.
Okay.
I think. Because I would have started and I would have changed it if I could have. And I didn't like where some things were done. And I suppose I could go back. We'll try that in a minute. How's that, Tom?
Okay. Thank you.
So if I put this widget in here and I wanted to change the widget settings, let's say after playing with it, I don't want 2 rows. Well, then I click on the wrench again. And over here, I get to adjust it. So the point is, once you click a page and add things, you can go through and change some stuff. When we talk about this picture, and I don't want this picture here because to me, this looks like something out of England, then I have the same process. This entire box highlights blue when I put my mouse in it. And I would click on the wrench row settings, and it's going to bring up all of the things that I can do in here. Now, I could put a YouTube video in. I can add different effects. I can say I don't want it to be a fixed width of 1100. I can change, if I want it to be narrower, I will say fixed, and now it's 1100. I'm going to go full width because I want the whole page filled. I can add text color, and I can change the photo by scrolling down, checking my photo, and it's going to bring up, what do you want? Well, I want to select a new photo. This one confused me right up front. And I hope you guys can see what I'm doing. And I'm trying to do the very basics and go back and forth. I hope I'm not losing anybody. When I looked in here, I only had like 4 photos. I didn't like that. And hidden behind my little select photo thing up here, next to media library, it says upload files. And then I could pick a file from my computer and upload whatever I wanted in there. Is everybody cool with that?
Mm-hmm.
Am I moving? Cool.
Yes.
Am I moving through logically still?
Yep, good.
Because for me, if I have a page that I want to start with, I need to know how to modify it. So all we've done so far is seen how we can insert different things, how it automatically populates, and that we can change photos and headlines. If I want to change this, again, click on the wrench. Headline needed. All of this is on the left-hand side, and it's very easy to type through and change it. Sometimes it's easier to change the font than other times. I'm just going to say that.
Hey, Greg.
Yes, sir.
Is there an opportunity to put multiple photos and do like a slideshow?
Yes.
Okay.
But you need the widget that will do that.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
So right now, I don't see any photos in here that are a slideshow per se. But let me show you my home page. I don't know if any of you looked at it yet or not. I tried to throw it out there because if you didn't like my work, you could say, I don't want to do that. So I have what's called a carousel in here. I put this carousel in because I wanted a picture of the various communities around here that people could look at. I wanted a representation that made more sense. So if they click on Derby, Kansas, I've linked that to my search page that's got all the listings in Derby that they can slide through. Now, that wasn't necessarily the slideshow like you were talking about, right? But that is a widget that's a carousel. So let's go back for a minute since we had that question about the slideshow. And I want to look at my modules. I think that's going to be an advanced module. And I have to look through here about photos that gives me a choice to run through. Well, let's see what photo gallery is. That could be it. And I got to find where I want to put it. Well, I'm going to put it right here above our agents. I could put it over in here underneath that, but I don't want to. I want to put it down here. if I go photo gallery, it's going to come up and say, well, the layout is a grid. I need to edit the gallery. Well, there's no photos in there yet. I've got to add to them. Come on, add to the gallery. Let's go back and try to add photos. Go back to my media library. I'm going to add this one. And I'm going to add this one. And I'm going to add this one. I'm going to add all three of them to the gallery. There's my gallery. Edit my gallery. Well, I want this one to be first. Update gallery. And again, I'm just playing with this and hoping because I don't know. Well, this was not a slide through, but rather this brought up 3 photos that will pull through here. Photo size, photo spacing, display orders, photo settings, show captions, light box, disable. What we might be looking for, the slideshow that you were talking about, is probably going to be different. And so this is what I had to do to play through these to find out how to do all the photos. Let me check something real quick. Unless you already know what I'm doing, you'd say, no, go here, Greg, and I'll believe you. Photos, repeat. No, we don't want to repeat them. Overlap style, general radius, border. I don't think that's going to be in advanced. That's going to be the HTML and how you center them. Okay. So let's go back to modules. Thanks for asking a question I didn't know what to do with.
Sorry, Greg.
I think it's going to be an advanced module. Creative module, slipbox, interactive banner,
Hey,
image
Greg,
separate.
on the last tab you were on, you had a slideshow under media.
I did,
Yeah.
and I just didn't read it because my
Right there's
brain.
the right.
There it is, right there underneath icon.
Yeah. To the
All
right,
right,
3.
awesome.
Where am I missing it?
Just go to the right 3 icons.
Oh, slideshow.
There you go.
Gotcha.
There we go.
So you add a slideshow. Well, you're getting good practice on how to try things and add different things. And again, I've got nothing in the gallery to play with. So add photos. I'm going to add this one and this one and this one. And I'm going to add to the gallery. Update gallery. And now I have a slideshow. Now there are, as you saw, there are arrows that show up, but you can also set over here, on playback. And again, I just had to click on things and try them. Well, do I want them to go 3 seconds? No, I want 2 seconds. I want them to go really fast.
I like that. Thank you, Greg.
But as long as we're here, let's look at a couple more things. How do I want the transition to be? Ken Burns is a guy that created a way of doing documentaries back in the 60s. And his documentary style was to zoom in on one photo and zoom out on another. So that's what the Ken Burns effect is. So see, it kind of zooms in and fades, and then it'll zoom out and fade, and I don't particularly like that one, but that's what it's for. So you can also choose through the different effects. So when I say that I might put an effect in here, you might want to stop and say that's it. There's the general settings where I get the photos, the playback, the controls, the advanced. In almost every case that I've seen, advanced has to do with how much margins you want around things so you can space it correctly. So right now we got 20. Let's say we take that down to 5, and 20 is the default. So all my pictures just moved up. And they have a lot of HTML things that I don't mess with. So let's go back and look at some of our widgets. If you're going to turn your website into a secondary, you can make a blog site here. I have not done that, but you can have people subscribe to your blogs. You can put featured property module in here. Moxi related articles, where Moxi has articles that could populate in here, but I've not got that to work. My contact, real satisfied widget, social links widget. So let's say I wanted my social links right here. Well, now I got to go and edit that if I want to get it. And that has not worked well for me. But you can see, once I put the widgets in there, they're there. I added mine differently. When you want to get rid of a module, click the little X, click OK. So let's say that I scrolled down and I looked at this and I said, I no longer want my agents here. If I click that, it removes the module and makes sure that I'm okay. And all of this right now is in an unpublished state. I have to come up here and press done before I save it or leave it. Just so you all will catch it. Neighborhood news, that's the sign up over here for my neighborhood news. Blog navigation, custom search module. And again, remember I told you that we could put one kind of search in there. When I added that, I can now, oops, I did the wrong one. Let me go back to that a second. No, we'll come back to that in a minute. Widgets. Property search module, not the custom search. And so that adds the same module that I already have up here, but with clear background. And again, I have 3 choices. I can't change anything else about that. Is everybody getting lost with me yet, or is everybody okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Because my brain bounces around a lot.
Hey, Greg, quick question. How you just did that secondary property search and no background. How much could you edit that? Could you edit the text color so that, you know, obviously the photo you have is not a photo you'd use, but can you drill down to the actual text color so that it can be seen on the photo that you're using?
No.
Or is that, okay.
No is the short answer. The long answer is maybe, but you're going to have to know a whole lot more than I do and get into some controls that are up here that you don't want to be in and maybe locked down anyway.
Gotcha.
So you're better off either choosing the photo you want or putting a box up first, like this is, you know, and then putting your search box in here. But here's one consideration I'm going to give you all while I'm playing with modules. And I promise we'll come back and do more stuff here. Once you think you know what you're doing, this program likes to fool you. These websites are called adaptive. And adaptive means whatever size screen I'm looking at, this is going to adjust for that size screen. And Greg wants to be able to know that I can preview it in that size to be sure that I know what the consumer will see. Right up here at the top is a very cleverly hidden arrow next to the currently editing page. If you click on that, you're going to see publish layout, which you don't have to do there. You could save this as a template. You could duplicate the layout, but go down a little bit and it says preview. When I click on preview, I'm getting a screen, come on photograph, show up, like a consumer would see it. And that's a video with the kids driving through and so on. Or I could see up here, widescreen, an iPad, and again, see how my search properties shrinks up. I also no longer have a navigation up here. the client would have to click on the hamburger to find the navigation. And if I go down to a cell phone, it gets even smaller. So my point to all of that is when you're considering what photos you want to put in, when you're considering how it will look on the search properties, when you want considering all this stuff, it's a really good idea to test it on all three sizes because it adapts. Any questions about that one?
That's very cool.
I will tell you that inside all of this, I have used next to nothing except that preview. I will sometimes look at revisions in history, which is kind of nice to have. But I figure by the time I leave here, I'm done and I can barely remember what I did 3 days ago, much less 3 weeks ago. Global settings, I'm not sure any of those adjust hardly anything. So somebody was asking about these kind of lettering in here. It's probably in there someplace, but you can't affect hardly anything because of how deep it's buried. MX Post Carousel, and these widgets, I would play with them. I think most of us are going to say that I already have it. Now, here's one thing that frustrated me, and I'll show you on my site in a minute. There is only one Contact Me widget. The reason this frustrates me is this website does not have a feature that I call a lockdown, so let's just call it a lockdown for simplicity. If I want to lock down a search, or I want to lock down to find out what your property's worth, or so on, and require them to put in their email address and name, I have not yet figured out a way to start that lockdown. Now then, I'm going to qualify that by saying I don't necessarily know I would lock it down anyway. With all of the sites out there that are free that they can go to and get into all day long, Greg says, do you really want to lock down your site and just drive them someplace else? That is my personal opinion. And I know other brokers have different opinions, and I respect those. Oh, we have a comment there. Plugins and insights would be helpful as well. I agree. And I can't do that. But having said that, if you want to put a Contact Me module, let's say down on the page more, right there. This is what they're going to get. Now on this page, obviously it didn't work out too well because the color's in the background. So let's say I want to move this module. Well, I grab the little arrows here, move it down to where I want it. And we're going to put it in here. Still doesn't show up. So the Contact Me for this may not be a good page to put it on. Well, there, if I put it on a white background, it works. This is the only Contact Me module I found anywhere in the website. Somebody else finds another one, do it. But I'm going to show you on my personal site why it's important. My company site. Is Scott on the call? I didn't see him. Nope, Scott's not here. Okay. I found this thanks to Scott. And I'm not going to try to show you how to do this today. I'm going to tell you it's possible, and if you want to know more, email me and I'll send you the instructions. Buying and selling. This website does not have a specific find out how much my house is worth in it. And again, the way my brain works, I say nothing's impossible. So what I found is that RPR, if you ask for it, produces a front end consumer facing, how much is my house worth AVM that you can put on your website. That's what it's constructed for. There is a problem with the way they do it. They have code that you have to put within other code to make it work. So I had to hire a guy from Fiverr to build me this submission form and access the data from RPR. I could build a contact me first, and then when they click on it, end up at this page. I decided not to do that. I decided to add the contact me down here, and hopefully if they want to know something more specific, they can find it. But the way this works is if they type in an address, I hope this works. Oops. They get back a little widget that RPR is authorized for us to put on our websites. And the bad news for every agent on this call, only brokers can have this widget. Agents cannot have this widget. Having said that, I've never tried to put the coding for this inside an agent website. But I'm just saying out front, that's what it is. I like that it's RPR data, which I think is probably the most accurate valuation that we could get. And I like that it gives a little range in here. So again, if anybody's interested in that, let me know. But that's why I would like to have the contact me work a little better for those who do want to lock down their site. I know there's going to be lots of questions about this specifically, but in general, if I send you the instructions and things, are there any questions about this page real quick? Okay. So let's get out of that. Let's go back here. Just for the sake of argument, I'm going to say I didn't find anything in here that I wanted to use. I think you'll always have a better time changing a template that you could find. But let's get out of here, and I'm going to discard it. Yep, because I don't want to save it. And it's going to come back here. And you notice this little word here that says post 652. If you go back into your admin home and you go down to site pages, all pages, you're going to find way down here at the bottom, post 652. For now, I'm not going to go through this menu. I will happily go through it in a minute because I'm guessing a lot of you already know how to use the menu. But that little page that we just worked on is inside here. Okay? If I want to go back to where I left it and I click on edit page, it's going to bring me back here, but I didn't save my page. So I got to launch Builder again. And there is that blank page that we didn't save.
Greg, if you wanted to make that the home page, how do you move that up to the home page tab? Do you just drag it up?
I did because I like to look at it that way. But the truth be told, when you were talking about dragging it up, I'm going back to site pages. I hope everybody got how I got there. The only reason that is there is because on your menu, that's the order things are in. That has nothing to do with whether that's truly your first page homepage or not.
Gotcha.
So I've got homepage, search engine, And if I didn't want my homepage button to show up here, I could hide it. I think it's kind of stupid, but you could. No, if you want to make it your homepage, you have to go back to Appearance, Homepage Layout,
Yep.
Custom Page, and then choose which page you want to be your homepage. Now I'm going to pause for a minute because I have a tendency to jump around, and I'm sorry, I didn't want to do this as, with all kinds of notes. I want to see where, if anybody's lost with what I've done so far, if there are any questions about what I've done so far, and then we'll dig in a little more as much as if you like.
Greg, as long as the recording is available, I think a lot of us can go back and forth as we need.
Okay, great. Well, the recording will be on my YouTube channel. So I'm going to go back to, we had a question. So I'm going to go.
I will just add that I am lost in a good way. Just knowing that we can do this, I can do what you did and fumble around and find it. I really, really wish Moxi would come out with some step-by-steps that would make our lives much easier so we don't have to fumble around with it.
I get that, and they are trying to update it some. I'm with you. I'm going to say this, and this is nothing against anybody at corporate Moxi or anywhere else. The only way I know how to make this work for my agents is for me to jump in and learn it inside and out, and then I teach the agents. It has to do with local traditions, their faith and finance, their trust in us, and things like that, that I'm not so sure they would believe off a recording, or the recording's too generalized. So for me, it would have been nice if Moxi had told us up front this was Builder Beaver, then I could have gone there to find things. Or they could say, here's some general stuff, but there's a lot packed in there. I'll just say that. And I am not a WordPress expert. There was a question, though, a minute ago about what you could modify and what you can't modify, and on the existing homepage. So I will tell you that my personal homepage is nothing more than an experimental playground for me to mess with. So I'm going to see if I can revert back to the agent. Let's go right here and push publish. And I want to make sure that I did get to see that. Yeah, all I've done is change the background picture. So inside here, if I go to site pages, all pages, there is my home page. And if I want to edit it, this is the only choices I have. I can't open up Builder Beaver. Now, having said that, those choices do allow me to change the picture. What color the text will be on top of that picture. Do I want a background effect or not? What the custom text will be. And you pretty much find out that as soon as you make the changes here, it changes them over here as well. So you can go back and forth and check things.
So Greg, do you know if you hide the home page, does it default to a different page, or do you just label another page home?
In my humble opinion, well, I think what happens is when you hide the home page, I can leave here. You're only hiding it from navigation. So if I hide this, it's going to disappear only from this navigation bar.
Oh,
It's not,
got it.
it's not being hidden on your website.
I know. I would love if my homepage had a slideshow, just because interactivity on the main page keeps people interested.
In that case, what you're going to have to do is build a custom homepage. I
Okay.
think. If I go down to edit, there are some WYSIWYG editors down here that do something.
About making you a Beaver Builder power user. How Beaver Builder makes building sites fun and easy.
I'm sorry, somebody's talking, but I can't hear very well.
It's WYSIWYG. That means you get to see your design work happening the way it will look in the front end of your site. It's so fun. We're going to start with the very basic. Like how to download the Beaver Builder plugin.
Is somebody talking to us, or is that just background?
It's got to be background.
Okay, fair enough. So, for example, there are some things you could do in your existing homepage with this WYSIWYG editor. Because one of the things you can do in here is you can find your HTML editor and put stuff in.
Hey, Greg, it looks like that background noise might be coming from Bob Shea. So if you're able to mute him, I bet it'll take care of that background noise.
There you go. Thank you. Let me see if I can remember, since I use this so little, where the HTML editor is on this thing. Table, full screen. Oh, it'd be up here. I forgot. Under Tools, Source Code. So it is not going to be as easy as dropping in 3 pictures into this one. I'm going to scroll down in a minute.
That's way above my intelligence level.
Yeah, exactly. So when you scroll down here, you can put an add media, but I don't think it's going to be a slideshow. You can create a gallery, audio playlist, video playlist, and so on, but it's not going to be a slideshow because they don't have that as one of these things.
Okay.
You check one thing here, special character, date, time, add media. Yeah.
Hey, Greg,
Yes,
I think this goes back to my question. When you were just kind of demonstrating how to build that page before, that custom page, you build that, and I think that's what Mike's referring to is, you know, you get your slideshow, you get all the stuff you want. How do you make that the home page?
When I named that, let me go in here. I see what you're saying.
So that when somebody drops to your site, that's the first page. That's
right.
The actual homepage they're going to come to.
So this page under appearance, homepage layout, this is where you designate what your homepage is going to be.
Gotcha. Okay.
So right now you can choose from one of these two.
Right. And just choose custom and do what you did and gotcha.
Exactly. Okay. So on the drop down, it would be a custom, you would have a page here that you can use it. And this side, I've not created any custom pages. Sorry for me not understanding that as well. Did that answer the question better?
It did. Thank you, Greg.
So I'm back now into my website, my brokerage website. I'm going to look one more time. Well, since I already built that one page, and then I'm going to show you one more thing and answer questions. Going back to this custom page, if I want to edit it, it comes up and it will warn you if you did not use Builder and save it and all that stuff. It won't let you go back the other way. But let's say here I want to start with the standard page. This is basically, here's your navigation, here's your footer, everything else in the middle is completely blank. Let's say I wanted to start with that slideshow. I drag that module over there, and then I have to add photos, because even though I can't see it once I hover over it, it's there. I'm going to add photos. And I'm going to put 3 pictures in, 4 pictures in, just because I like to. Now, I'm not going to get into SEO on this. I'm going to say yes. And now my pictures come up. Now, let's suppose that this is engaging, and below it, I want to add a module that has my search module in it. So I click back on modules. I want to go down to my widgets. I have to find the not the custom search. Custom search is where I've created a search like show me only new homes, show me homes in Derby, show me homes in Andover. And then I can put that search module in. I'm not going to go through that. If you're catching on to what I'm doing now, that will be very easy. If you're not, that'll confuse you. How's that? But I want a regular search module, property search, and I'm going to put it right below it. And there's my search module. And I can keep adding down this page. Does everybody have that? Now let's suppose, last thing I'm going to show you on this page. Let's suppose that I want to separate my page. I don't want one big picture. I might want a picture on one side and copy on the next. Well, then what I really want to look at is this one up here, this nomenclature called rows. I can add one column. I can add two columns. I can add three columns. Let's go with three. And I'm going to pick that up, and notice how I keep building down the page. I'm going to add three columns. And there's my three individual boxes that I can fill with however I want to fill them. So now that I have that box, I want to put a photo in the middle box. And it says, well, what photo do you want in there? Select photo. I'm going to add, oh, I don't know. Let's go with that one. That's pretty. Now I have these other two boxes. Well, what do I want to put in them? I've got to go back to modules. I've got to say that I want text in there. I don't want a text editor. Now it brings up my text editor. I go back into modules and see, I can't hardly see it there anymore because I didn't type any text in it, but it's there. And I want to put a map. And I have done nothing with maps before, but there's my map. General, I'm just curious. This is going to be all what it looks like. Advanced. So I'm guessing that I'm going to type an address in here. Wichita, Kansas. And that will populate the map over there. Okay. I wanted to be sure that I at least got you guys with some basics of custom page building. Show you one more quick thing. I'm going to go ahead and publish this. Obviously, I don't want that page to show on my website because we just played with it. And I can go to Admin Home, All Pages, and down at the bottom, that page is now published, but I'm going to hide it because if I don't hide it, it's going to show up in my navigation. And this was a trick I had to learn the hard way several times. See how my navigation now has that last page in it? So back to my site pages, down at the bottom, hide it. And now that page is hidden, it's still on my website. Nobody can find it. But I can go back and edit and play and edit, play and edit, play until I'm ready to make it part of my public facing site. Now I've been on this for an hour, and again, I'm not trying to rush anybody or not. Like I say, I kind of left this afternoon to say, what else can I try to help you with? What can we explore together? Or you can leave if you're ready. So I'm now opening this up for questions, demonstrations. You tell me what I can do to help you guys.
You absolutely taught me to go in there and play around and not be afraid of it.
You're not going to blow it up. I promise. Really? That's it? All of that? And that's all no questions?
Hey, Greg, I have a question for Mike. Mike, I didn't call you, but you were going to tell us how to get other companies off our location.
Yes. All right, I'll do that right now so everybody can hear. I did get a lot of phone calls from different brokers asking the situation. It's nothing you can do personally, but you need to contact your whoever your liaison is. If another brokerage, another BHDRE brokerage sells a property in your area, or specifically a zip code, they automatically come up in a search now in that zip code. So you have to have, I use Colleen. I have to call Colleen and have her remove those zip codes from their company websites because they do not service those areas.
Gotcha.
And my main concern was the fact that, you know, these other companies are showing up in that search area where the brokerage, where the franchise won't sell another franchise because it's too close to your office. And yet, you know, you're competing with other offices, and it's not correct. So
Gotcha.
you're going to have to call whoever your liaison is and have them remove the zip codes from that other site. The problem is every time they sell something, it's going to pop back up. So you're going to have to keep an eye on it and keep making the phone calls. And it you know, if it's a problem for them, they'll definitely fix it, right?
And I'm not sure, because I called too, and I talked to James, and I may be speaking out of turn here. Carrie Ann may know as well. It's not necessarily even if they sold something, but if a referral was paid in that zip code, it might also show up.
Yeah, but there were that I think expect a fix on that hopefully here in the next couple of weeks. I think we figured out how to fix that piece.
Good. Good. Okay. One thing I didn't tell you guys to do, but you better do, whenever you change your menu, like I made that hidden, you have to hit publish down at the bottom or it won't change. This publish button is just for this menu as far as I can figure. So if you hide something here, it won't stay hidden if you don't hit publish.
Hey Greg, I got a question for you.
Yes, ma'am.
So we have 5 different offices. Do you know how we would be able to combine like all the agents onto one like central website instead of 5 different websites per office?
That I don't know because of how they're broken up at Moxi. When I had 2 offices, I knew we were getting ready to go down to 1. I don't know if there is even an option with Moxi to display everybody on one main site.
Yeah, it would just be a lot easier to have everything on one site instead of having to go to 5 different pages for listings and agents.
I wish I was smart enough to know that.
So Greg, we have 3 offices and all of our sites are central on our main site. And I don't know how I did it. I think it has to do with how they're reflected in Dash, maybe. But we definitely have all agents on our main site, and it does list individual offices as well. So you can go to the individual office and see what agents are in that office. And again, that's based on what they're tagged as Dash.
Okay. As I recall, the main broker site has has all offices on it, and each office you can open up and look at the agents on the main site. And I don't know if KC has theirs open or not. Yeah, they do. So if I go to team, agents and offices, since I know they're multi-office, yeah, that's what I thought. You can look at all agents here. You can pull up each individual office and you can have staff. So you can look at them here under the, and obviously I can't get to their back end, agents and offices page. So you may need to get with corporate, pull that up and look at it. And as far as I know, there's no way you can change how this shows up or anything else. You get what you get. And if they don't have their website active, then they don't get a website button. Okay. Did that help?
Kind of.
Kind of. Yeah, I know.
Kind of. Not really, because I mean, if I'm on my one office website, on the public site, and I'm looking for homes or any of our listings for our office, it only
Gotcha.
brings up my one office, not our company listings. So we're only showing like 17 listings for one office, 12 listings for a different office. And if we're going to use one central website to publish, it'd be like a main office to show everything.
Well, I get it. And I brought this up to Stas early on. When I see a search engine that says agent, office name, city, zip code, and is powered by Google, I think I'm going to be able to look for Wichita, Kansas. And the fact is, I cannot. Or when I first tried it. See, Kansas City Homes does not have any agents or offices in Wichita, Kansas. And I see that as a problem. I would think that if I was in KC Homes and I wanted to look up Tom's office or you know, McDonough's office, I'd be able to type in here and find it. And I can't. That bothers me. But that seems to be a Moxi issue and not. Moxi has a problem. When they took us on, they weren't really geared for an entire franchise. They were geared for an individual office that had multiple offices, multiple agents. And they're quickly trying to fix all this as they go through it.
Well, I appreciate your help, Greg. Thank you.
I'm glad to. Are there any other questions? Or are you guys saying I'm done? Let's go.
That's a lot of info.
It's a ton of info. And if you send me your email address, I will send you the link to my YouTube channel that will have this on it.
Great.
Thank you, Greg.
Y'all are quite welcome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Greg.
I'm going to stop the recording and thank you guys. You made me feel like I knew what I was doing.
Greg, I'll share some live feedback with you that I got in a text from someone else that was in this. It says, love this. I've built a lot of websites and never knew I could do this with Moxi. Our page is going to look so dope now. How about that?
That's great.
Well, I'm thrilled. And yes, it took me a while to figure that out, but it is really, really powerful. And there's a lot you can do with it if you want. You can plug in all the coding you want. And I hired a Fiverr guy and he wrote the code for me. I've cut and paste and it was done. That simple. I'm going to stop recording unless anybody else